Hello everyone, hello beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Today easy sewing with Tyke. Now to all returning subscribers, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. And if today is your first time of joining us, you are welcome as well. You will love it here. Kindly subscribe and put on the notification bell to get notified when I post new videos. Please help my channel to grow. Thank you. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make a trendy ball dress for a girl. I'll be starting from the lower part, not from the body. So I'll start from the lower part. And to make the lower part, I have my satin here and my two net. This two net is 10 yards. I have 10 yards. But the first thing to do is to cut out the satin. This is 1.5 yards of satin. I'll be using the rest for the upper part. I'll be using the rest as lining for the upper part because I'll be using the Duchess for the upper part. So the waist I'm working with is 24. 24 plus 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance, that's 25.5. 25.5 divided by 3.14. 25.5 divided by 3.14. I have 8.1 inches. That's 8.1 inches. 8.1 inches. And the length that I'm working with, the full length that I'm working with is 32 inches. Our half length is 10 inches, meaning the ball area, the lower part area, the length should be 22. Remember, the full length is 32. 32 minus 10, which is the half inches. We are left with 22. So the satin is not supposed to be up to the 22 inches. It is the two net that is supposed to be the 22 inches. So from this satin, I'll be having like 20 inches. But when it's time to cut the two net, I will make sure that I have 22 inches left after all the sewing. So I folded the satin into two this way. And this should be 30 because the length of satin is usually 60. Okay, this is 29. I have 29 here. Then I'll go ahead and fold it this way. Do you understand? It's like this, folded into two, and I'll bring this other edge like this, hold the two edges like this, and form a triangle. Yes, because the fabric is white, I'll be making use of this fabric marker. This chalk may not show on it. Yes. So remember I said the waist we are working with is 24 plus zipper allowance 25.5 divided by 3.14. That's 8 inch. That's 8.1. So from the tip here, I would measure 8 inches round. 8 inches round. From here to here is the 8 inches. I'm gonna have to do that. The next thing to do now is to measure out the length. Remember I said I'll be using 20, not 22, because the two net and the satin, they are not supposed to be on the same length. The length and the two net should be longer than the satin by 1 to 2 inches. So that's where you are sure that the satin is not going to show under it's not going to be longer than the two nets. So I have 21 inches here. By the time I end this and attach this to the bodice, I'll be left with 20, which is perfect. So I'll go ahead and measure 21 all the way like this. So it is on this satin that I will attach the two nets. So let's just say this will serve as a lining for the ball dress. Now it's time to cut. This is ready. Now it's time to cut out the two net that will be attached on this. The length that I need is 22 inches. 22 inches. And to achieve the desired fullness that I want to pleat 5 yards in width 3 times on the waist area. That is, I will have 3 layers of the 22 inches on this waistline, attached to this waistline. So I'll be dividing this 10 yards into 2 to have 5 yards, and that way I'll get 3 pieces of 23 inches, because I'll still be attaching it to the waistline, of 23 inches by 5 yards. 23 inches by 5 yards. I hope that is clear. I'll go ahead and do that now. So I've divided it into this one 5 yards and this is the other 5 yards. I've arranged this So I'll go ahead and cut out 2 layers of 23 inches, 2 layers of 23 inches from this. Then the third layer, I'll cut it out from this. This is one layer of 23 inches by 5 yards. 23 inches by 5 yards. So this is one layer. This is the second layer. You can see. So I have 2 layers already. I'll go ahead and cut out the third layer from this, then show you what we are still going to cut out more. We are still going to cut out more layers, but shorter length to achieve the desired fullness. But I'll go ahead and cut out one more layer of this length, 23 inches. I'll go ahead and do that. I had to cut out different layers of tool nets that I'll be using. This is the 23 inches length, 3 layers. So each of these layers is 5 yards wide. It is 5 yards in width, 5 yards by 23 inches, another 5 yards by 23 inches, another 5 yards by 23 inches. So I'll be putting this 3 layers on each other. This is 17 inches by 5 yards as well, just 2 of it. So this will be 2 layers. This is 12 inches by 5 yards, that's just 1. And this is 7 inches by 5 yards. I'll be showing you where I'll be fixing it, because I can't achieve the fullness I want by using just 3 layers of this 2 net, since I will not be adding an add net. I won't be adding an add net to this. I try to fold it like this to explain to you where the net will be attached. So this 23 inches length of 2 net would be attached to the top of the flare here, like this. You can see that it is longer than this. Yes, that's what I want to achieve. I'll be adding 1 layer like this, the second layer like this as well, the third layer like this. Of course, it will be opened. So to know where to attach this, I'll be dividing the length of this into 3 or into 4, depending on the amount of tool net that I have. So remember that the full length of this is 21 inches. By the time I'm done folding the hem, I'll have 20 inches. So this is 20. I will divide this into 3. I'll divide this into 4. That would be 5, 5. So this is 5 here. This another 5. And this is 15. This is 5, 10, 15, 20. So from here, I'll be attaching the 23 inches length. From here, I'll be attaching the 17 inches length. From here, I'll be attaching the 12 inches length. And from here, I'll be attaching the 7 inches length. So this is it. So I'll go ahead and measure this all round. I'll go ahead and measure this round. This is 5, 10, 15. I'll go ahead and do that all round. So this is the 7 inches length by 5 yards. By 5 yards. I will be attaching it here. Here, like this. Okay, I shouldn't have lost it. I'll be attaching it here, like this. I'll be attaching it here. Yeah, I hope you can see it. This is the 12 inches by 5 yards. I'll be attaching that here. This is the 17 inches by 5 yards. I'll be attaching that here. And this is the longest, the actual length. I'll be attaching it from the upper part here. So you can see that it will be full. I'll be able to achieve the desired fullness. So I would be starting from the shortest, because if I decide to start from the longest, it will not be easy to attach the rest. So I'll go ahead and gather this 7 inches length on all this mark. I will mark it. Oh, and remember, I divided this into 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Each layer being 5 inches in length. So this is 5. This is 5, 10, 15. So on that 15 inches mark, that's where I would attach the shortest. The shortest. I'll go ahead and gather that after measuring it all around. For easy fixing for me, I'll go ahead and attach it so you can see it. So if you are making use of a colored fabric and you are using chalk, you will make sure that this is done on the right side, because you make sure that this is done on the right side of the fabric, because you are attaching the tulle to the right side. But because I'm making use of a fabric marker, I decided to do it on the wrong side, knowing fully well that it will still show on the right side. So on all this line like this, I'll go ahead and attach the shortest, that is the 7 inches mark, the 7 inches length by 5 yards. I'll go ahead and attach that and show you what I have. So I've gone ahead to plait the first 7 inches length. Remember, this length is 7 inches and this is 12 inches. You can see that they are now equal at the end. I'm gonna ahead to plait this round and the 7 inches mark round. The next thing to do now is to attach the third layer, the 17 inches length of tulle on this mark. But this time around, I'll be having 2 layers of this. Remember, for this is just 1 layer. For this is just 1 layer as well. But for this, I'll be having 2 layers, and then for the last part, I'll be having 3 layers. So it's not that I'll be adding these two together to make it wider, to make it 10 inches. No, I'll be pleating the first layer of 5 yards on this round, then I'll put another layer on it. I'll be showing you now. I've gone ahead to add the third layer, the 17 inches length tulle net. So this is what I have. Look at that. So this is what I was saying. See, this is both layer of the 17 inches length. This is 1, this is 2. You can see that they are on each other. They are on each other. This is 1 and this is 2. This is the 12 inches length and this is the 7 inches length tulle. So this is layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. So the next thing to do now is to add the final two lengths, the two length of length 23 inches to this, to the waistline here, to this part here that will be attached to the bodice. So I've gone ahead to make a gathers of the 23 inches in length tulle net. So this is what I have. So this is 1, 2, 3. That's the 3 layers on each other, So I'll be attaching it here like this. Look at that. And I'll show you the final outlook of the lower part of the bodice. You can see how full it looks already. The last layer has been fixed. The lower part of the bodice is ready now. You can see how full it looks. You can see how full it is. So this is the first layer. This is the first layer, which is the 23 inches in length, and it is 3. I have 3 sets of it, 3 layers of it. 1, 2, 3. This is the second. This is the second step, and I have 2 layers of it, which is the 17 inches tulle net. This is the 12 inches, which is just 1, and the 7 inches, which is just 1. So if you feel that this fullness is not enough for what you want, all you need to do is to just add extra layers in between this. There's still space for more layer. You can have another line of 2 nets here. In between this, you can have this, and you can also have here. So you'll be having 8 steps instead of 4. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, you'll be having 8. So it's so easy. But I'm fine with this fullness. This fullness is okay for what I want. Look at it. Here it is. Look at that. I'm fine with this fullness. So the lower part is ready, and I'll go ahead and cut the bodice now before fixing this place to the waistline of the bodice of the bodice, the upper part. Also, I've hemmed the satin. You can weave it or hem it. So you can see the reason why I decided to make the satin shorter than the tulle net. Here it is. So there's no way the girl will put on the dress and you'll be seeing the satin coming all out under the tulle net. It's not possible. It will have a neat look like this. You can't see the satin popping out under it. So that's why it's advisable. It is better that you make the length of the satin shorter, at least by 2 inches. This is what I have left from the 1.5 yards of satin, from which I'll be cutting out the belt and the upper part. So the full length that I'm working with is 32 and the half length is 10. The half length I'm working with is 10 inches. I'll be adding 1 inches allowance to it. That's 11. I'll measure that all the way. So after measuring 11, the next thing to measure is the armhole line, on the armhole line where we will put the bust measurement. So the bust and the waist is the same. Our bust is 24 and the waist measurement I'm working with is 24. So to get the armhole line, 24 divided by 6 plus 1.5. 24 divided by 6 is 4. 4 plus 1.5 is 5.5. 5.5 plus half inch, that's 6, not 1 inch, since not 1 inch because of our bust measurement is less than 30. I make use of half inches. That's 6. I'll be measuring 6 like this. So the bust measurement is 24. That is 6. 6 plus 1.5 inches allowance, that is 7.5. So I need to reduce this. This is 6. The bust measurement, the allowance I'm working with is 1.5, and it's since the bust and the waist is the same thing, I'll be putting the measurement here as well. The back length I'm working with is 11. That's 5.5. I will connect that. That's 5.5. I'll connect that like this. I'll be coming down by half inches here. I'll come up by 1 inch. I'll just connect the line like this. Like this. I came in by 1/4 inch. I came in by 1/4 inch here. So I'm working with the neckline of 2 1/4, 2 1/4 by 2 1/2 for the front. I'll connect it like this. Also connect the slope like this. I'll be cutting it out now. Here's the front. I'll be using this to cut out the back. I'll just be adding the zipper allowance to the back and also alter the neck area and also alter the neckline. I'll be adding 1.5 inches for zipper allowance. I'll just note that. So for the back neckline, the width is the same. The width is the same, but the depth is different. I'll make this, you know, the width is 2 1/4. I'll make this for the front neckline, the measurement is 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. But for the back neckline, I'll be using 2 1/4 by 5 inches. I want the back to be lower than the front. And that's all. I'll be cutting it out now, and then I'll show you. So the front and the back bodice is ready. I'll divide this into 2. So this is the front and this is the back. So this is the lining. The main fabric is Duchess. This is the lining. This satin is the lining. So I'll go ahead and use this lining, this satin, to cut out the actual fabric I'll use for the upper part, which is the Duchess. It's white as well. I'll do that and I'll show you. I'll go ahead now and turn this with the lining, the front, making sure this is the right side of the Duchess. This is the right side. This is the wrong side of of the satin, right side facing each other. I would sew it here, I will turn it over, I will sew it here, I will repeat the same thing that I'm going to do for this front, for the back as well. When I'm done turning it with the lining, I will show you. I will turn the armhole area with lining as well, because this dress is actually sleeveless. It is sleeveless, so I will sew it this way, sew it like this way, this way, this way. I will turn it over. I'll show you when I'm done. So here's the front and the back. I'm gonna have to turn it with the lining, with the satin lining, like I said I would, at the neckline, the armhole, and at the sides. And then I joined it at the shoulder. So the next thing to do now, I want to add some designs to the front part. I just don't want it to be plain like this. I went ahead to cut out long stripes of 2.5 inches. Unfold it is 1 1/4. I have 4 of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I added BFF to fuse it as an interfacing so that it can lay properly. So here's what I'll do. Let's see. I'll place it like this. I think this is what I want. Like this. Like this. This. And the excess I have from here, I will add it. I'll just arrange it on each other like this. So this is what I would have. I'll have something like this. I'll go ahead and do that. When I'm done, I'll trim out the excess. Then I'm gonna have to cut out the belt as well. Here's the belt. I would add the belt in between. So if you want to add the belt, here's what you do. You add the belt in between the front and the back at the sides this way. I'll stitch it so that by the time I'm done, I'll still have this. I'll have this at the belt as the belt. So I'll go ahead to add this to the front, fix the belt, close the sides, then add the tulle net to the waistline. I'll go ahead and do all of that now. I have, after fixing the front design, the belt, joining it at the sides, and then fixing the tulle net to the bodice. I've weaved this already. This is what I have. And this fullness is fine for me. I've told you what to do if you want it to be fuller than this. If you want it fuller than this, I've told you what to do. And also, aside that, you can still add an ad net to this. There's an ad. This is a soft tulle net. We have an ad net. You can go ahead and add it to this, but remember to add a lining for that as well, so that it would not itch the skin of the girl wearing it. The thing to do is to fix the zipper from the apex of the neckline to like 4 inches below the waistline. 4 inches below the waistline. So I'll be fixing the zipper there. Then I have 2 parts of this. It's bead. I'll go ahead and attach the bead just on the tulle net. I'll do that with thread and needle. I'll fix the bead on this. This is optional. And that will be all for today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like this video. Leave a comment for me, okay? Let me know if you'll be trying yours. And share this video, please do. Thank you all so much. See you in my next video.